Welcome back to yet another episode of Door Kickers 2 Task Force North, where we've been using realistic military tactics, close quarters battle doctrine, and authentic tactical decision making to play this game. This game is called Door Kickers 2. It's fantastic. You can purchase it on Steam if you like what you're seeing. You can also grab a copy of it over off of my game store at nexus.gg/controlledpairsgaming, where your purchase will support the channel directly. Today we're taking a look at a level called Trap House. Now, I'll be honest with you guys, this looks like an absolute cluster, and there doesn't look like there is any sort of realistic way to go about conducting this hostage rescue operation. I say that because we know that there's one hostage very deep in this structure, and if there's a hostage, then we can assume, of course, that there is enemy combatants. If we take a look at this environment, like we always do before we begin our plan, we try to assess the enemy, make an assessment about how we think they might fight, how they might be arrayed across the battlefield, and then based off of our assessment, only then do we develop a plan to attempt to defeat them. It's a process called intelligence preparation of the battlefield, at least in a rudimentary form, and we apply a process called COA development before we actually go and execute our course of action, or COA. So if we just look in the middle of this thing, we see what I would call a defensive fighting position. It's a bunker. We've got two half moon shaped defensive positions made out of sandbags. There's also evidence of ammunition, handheld devices, and things like that over here. So it's pretty obvious that this central corridor is completely locked down by whatever is in this location. My suspicion also, it's probably like heavy weapon systems, maybe shoulder fires, maybe handhelds, just all sorts of dangerous stuff that we don't want to mess with at all located over there. We look around a little bit more, we see more sandbags here, so probably safe to assume that there's also an enemy located on either side of this sandbag or holed up in the bathroom. And who else knows where they could be? They could certainly be with the hostage. In fact, I'd suspect that they are, in fact, with the hostage and maintaining security all on him at all times. We could have additional hostages elsewhere in the structure, potentially in this little office space back here. And we've also got additional weapon crates in the northwestern corner of this map. So the question is, under real-world circumstances, would you ever attempt a hostage rescue on an environment like this? Well, I'd say maybe. I mean, probably not. Your chance of success would be almost zero. But if, for example, like a friendly HVI of such tremendous value was this guy, and you thought that person's life was at imminent risk, would you conduct an emergency assault to try and get them out? Yeah, you might try, but you would do it understanding that the odds of it being successful are near zero. And so I'm going to go ahead and assume that there's enemy here. I'm going to assume that there is enemy here. I'm going to assume that there is enemy here. I'm going to assume that there's a hostage here, and I think there's also a chance that there is a hostage here. My plan is going to be to blow this door and this door simultaneously, hit this with a grenade and keep it suppressed, launch my main assault this way simultaneously to try and get to this hostage and save this hostage. Once I have this hostage saved, I will try to push here to see if there's a second hostage, get that hostage, and then exfil everyone out. Will this be successful? Probably not, but I'm going to do my damn best. And then we'll play it back, watch the replay, and do a little bit of an AAR and see how this thing went. To accomplish today's mission, we're bringing my buddy Minnow, our old friend drummer, Spartan 1 Actual, and Philly to the fight. These guys each have a Mark 18 suppressed. They've got frags and bangs and smokes, and then we've also brought a bunch of heavy breaching equipment and shoulder fired. So we've got AT4s, we've got wall charges, more wall charges, and an additional AT4. You guys will see what that is all about very shortly. Here we go. Oh, before we get started today, let me shout out my buddies over at Neomag. Neomag is a company that makes everyday carry products. Guys, you know that I'm a firearm owner. I carry a weapon wherever I am able to do it to protect myself and my family and my community. And I'm a huge supporter of others who are well-trained, capable, and responsible firearm owners doing exactly that. Neomag makes products that allow you to do that more comfortably and more easily. They create a Neomag clip, which allows you to hold an additional magazine in your pocket. So if you're using like a sidecar style holster with a tourniquet, you can throw an extra magazine in your pocket. They've also got a new system called the Alias, which allows you to increase the retention of your handgun. So you can remove the plastic clips that come on the traditional holster, attach the Alias metal clips, and then use the receiver attached to your pistol belt to secure it very snug to your belt. It's also super low vis, so if you need to tuck in your shirt, something like that, you can't see the handgun. It's a phenomenal piece of kit. I'm really excited to be partnered with Neomag, and check the description below for the discount code that'll give you guys a discount over when you shop at Neomag. Here we go. Whoo! Third attempt, 33 seconds, rescued the hostage, disarmed 2 of the 3 bombs, spotted the 3rd bomb, but knocked out all the hostiles before we had to defuse it. Let's take a look at it. We know by simply selecting a hostage rescue that we are placing the life of the hostage and therefore the mission of greater value than the life of our own assault force. So how do you go about doing that? Well, you incur a shit ton of risk. We know the fundamentals of CQB are speed, surprise, violence of action. If you're performing a hostage rescue, you maximize all of them, especially speed. We always use a term where we say we trade speed for security, or we use speed as our security. In this case, we were definitely using speed as security, which is kind of counterintuitive, right? Because speed doesn't necessarily guarantee security. Sometimes it means you're reckless and you're dangerous. You're moving so fast, your brain cannot process the stimulus that it is looking at. We used a very unorthodox method of clearance in this assault. We went explosive on the south side of the compound. We also nailed this door here with shoulder fired. We went grenades in the center, and then just a really aggressive assault with small arms all the way through. With success, leading with bangs once we thought we had time to do it, and then stopping to defuse bombs that we didn't think we would have time to otherwise defuse. This is what it looked like when it went down. If you guys enjoyed today's video, I invite you to subscribe to the channel. It's a huge help, and I'd love to have you guys on board. We play the most immersive tactical shooters and combat sims, so if you're a tactics guy, a gun guy, a doctrine guy, if you enjoy learning about the nuance of small unit tactics, then you're going to love the content on this channel. I'm so excited to welcome you guys aboard. If you already are a subscriber, I invite you guys to become a member of the channel by simply clicking the join button down below. I'm Controlled Pairs, play the most immersive tactical shooters and combat sims in the world. This is Door Kickers 2 Task Force North. See you guys in the next one.